What's going on, guys? It's Groove back again with another video, and in this video we're breaking down one of my favorite chapters in this book. But in this chapter it talks about how Bitcoin and the current financial system is connected to alchemy. Over thousands of years, alchemy and alchemists have always tried to turn base metals into gold. And it's like, why did they spend so much of their time trying to turn something like lead into gold? And that's because gold has been very hard to get out of the ground, very hard to find, and it holds its value over time. You know, if alchemists actually did solve the problem, or not really a problem, but if they did solve turning lead into gold, gold's price over time would have plummeted. But before it did plummet, those alchemists would have been really, really rich because, you know, they would have been the ones creating gold in secret and been able to use that to get whatever they want in this world. Okay, so what does alchemy have to do with Bitcoin and the current monetary system? Back in the day, alchemists could never turn lead into gold to create new money. But today we have these institutions called central banks, and they are practically modern day alchemists. They have figured out a way how to create gold out of thin air, as it was. You know, these institutions can just print as much money as they want, and they are the first ones to get their hands on it, and their buddies and people who work for them. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, again, we trade our time for this money that a group of people can just print out of thin air and just use as they wish. So what he kind of questions or argues in the book, or in this chapter, is he says that, you know, instead of these alchemists looking to try to turn lead into gold, what they should have been looking for instead is looking for the properties of gold, because that's what you really want. You don't want the shiny rock. You want what that shiny rock can do for you. And so he says this is where Bitcoin comes into play. You know, what if you can recreate the properties of gold, you know, property by property, or what if you can improve on them and actually make them better, which is exactly what Bitcoin does. So money has to have 6 distinct characteristics. So it has to be durable, so it doesn't break down. It has to be divisible, so you need to divide it up into small quantities. It has to be portable. It has to have uniformity, so that the same thing in America is the same thing in Asia. It needs to be accepted everywhere, and it has to have a limited supply. And those are the 6 characteristics of money. So with those characteristics, we've pretty much became alchemists. Us as humans, we always gravitate towards a singular form of money or value. He talks about like 5,000 years ago, before we knew anything about chemistry or how to break materials down or what the difference between gold and lead were, we all as humans went towards gold because we knew that that was just the best store of value. And without even being able to break it down, it's just like within our nature as humans to go to that most scarce asset. So then I've seen a lot of people online talking about, well, you know, Bitcoin is crap. We just need to stick with gold. We already have the properties of a true form of money. Let's just stick with gold. Gold has its downsides. It's really hard to transport. People can steal it from you. It can be confiscated from you. Like the government in America has already confiscated gold from people back in the 1930s. I think it was 1933, Executive Order 6102. We need a new form of gold that's more flexible and, you know, resistant to being taken from you. Satoshi Nakamoto, as trying to find this new form of gold, has really found a new element. He calls Bitcoin element 0. Like, it's weightless, it's not in the physical realm, but it is tied to the physical realm. Like when you're mining Bitcoin, you have to give it energy to get Bitcoin out of it. You can't just get it out of thin air like you can with a proof of stake coin like Ethereum. You need to actually put in the work and give this thing energy from the physical world to get it. He says it's really like a miracle that we have this thing, and Satoshi Nakamoto has discovered this, you know, great new element that doesn't exist, but it does exist. It checks off every box of a true store of value that is exact same as gold, but probably even a little bit better. And then he ends off by talking about how not only did Satoshi Nakamoto discover this new form of gold, but better, he also talks about how it is peaceful gold. Whereas regular gold isn't peaceful, it's violent. You have to coerce somebody into giving it to you. You have to steal it from them. You have to take it from them. But when it comes to this digital gold called Bitcoin, you can't coerce somebody into giving it to you. You can't steal it from somebody. You have to provide value to that person. So it is kind of crazy. It's like gold, but peaceful. It's like peaceful gold. It's just better. It's just a better all-around form of gold. And it just has the qualities of peace and communication and togetherness. And again, you have to create value for others in order to obtain this thing. Just looking at this thing from all different angles, it's more than just, hey, let me put some money into this thing and hopefully I make some money on the back end. Like, Bitcoin touches all different aspects of life, human nature, the financial game, you know, history. It's just like connected all throughout it all. And I really enjoyed this chapter, how it connects to alchemy and how, you know, we've always been trying to find the, you know, the formula of gold, and Satoshi Nakamoto has found that. And it's here today, and you can go buy that on your phone if you want to. Not financial advice, but so yeah, that's pretty much it for this chapter. Hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.